Now, this is the one that's very personal for me, if you will.
Yes.
I've been around the Aurora Tigers organization when Dominic Moore played for them with his brother Steve. The head coach was Brad Selwood. He's a Leaside boy, was a defenseman for the Leafs. I've called so many Newmarket Hurricanes games back when they were the 87s. I called them the Aurora Tigers games. I mentioned Dominic Moore, many great players that have played there as well. Aurora, two-time RBC Cup-winning champions, and a lot of these players know each other from the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Yes, and one of the guys, the man who created this very sharp-looking Aurora Avalanche team, PJ Buys, playing with the Newmarket Saints last year, played with a lot of guys on this team with the Aurora Tigers, but last year, PJ Buys was the OT hero to give the Newmarket Saints the 3HL Collingwood Classic title, scored in overtime against the Brewers, and now he faces his old team in the same barn that the Saints won. So, I don't know, do you give the edge to the Newmarket Saints because, yes, they won the big check last year here at Eddie Bush, but the hero is on the other side with the Avalanche.
That's, it's interesting. I'm looking down the lineups in the Newmarket lineup. A lot of these guys have played together before, so when you do that, you have that experience. You kind of have this. I played. It's like you and I in the broadcast booth. Once you've done it a few times, I know if I hand off to Patty, he's going to run with the ball for a while. So when you're a teammate, you know what's going to go on out there. So Aurora may be having to study Newmarket a little bit. And Jimmy Sargent, of course, Hobie Baker finalist in between the pipes. Yeah, good luck there. And then the big fella, Anthony Marshall, in net. My goodness gracious.
Two completely different styles. Yeah. Jimmy, I wouldn't call him an undersized goalie, but definitely uses his angles and isn't quite, as active as we see some of the other goalies like Rich Wigmore, who's a little bit smaller. But Anthony Marshall barely moves, uses all his angles.
Tyler Morrison. The return feed. That was too nice.
Morrison to Morrison, the Morrison brothers. You'll see them working together really well. We saw them do that in London.
Yes, indeed. This time, though, they are wearing Kyle Morrison is 86, Tyler Morrison, number 9. Pardon me, I was looking down at my game sheet. Here's an opportunity now for the aforementioned Kyle Morrison. This time he doesn't have to worry about passing so mom doesn't get mad at him. You got to pass to your family or you're in trouble, don't you?
Chris McKinnon slow getting the bench. I'm not too sure. He just got rocked by Brandon Woods, but I don't know if maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him. He's already standing, so it looks like he's fine.
Vanessian now for Newmarket, but the big fella, Anthony Marshall, had it under those pads of his. Pass looking for the left wing side. There is no icing, so as long as you don't play it back over, you're good, but you don't want to give the puck away, and that's what this was in this instant. Newmarket with some speed. Return feed, there it is. It's a difficult animal.
A couple of guys on the ice right now from the Simcoe County area. AJ Peepsack and Christian York, both from Barrie, so as close as a home game as possible for these guys here.
Off the pipe!
Until we're up in Barrie in the new year, I should say, at the Barrie Molson Center for the Sir Robert Barrie Classic.
If Joey Tanute plays there, it'll be a bit of a homecoming for him because he used to play for the Barrie Colts. Wes Jarvis was an assistant coach back then. He was the Newmarket's head coach back in the day in the Ontario Junior Hockey League. So Aurora coming so close there. 0-0 is the score in this one so far. Here comes Newmarket Saints. Stopping up at the blue line there, number 49. That's Kevin Jarman. And I missed the goal, unfortunately, as I was looking down because I've got some numbers. I think it's Paul Clancy,
yes,
is it?
Jarman comes in, uses that blistering speed, but then slows it down and just so saucy with that pass over to Paul Clancy, who rips that backhand for his first 3-on-3 pro hockey goal, but he played SPHL, so it's not his first ever goal in pro hockey.
No, indeed. He also played in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. This one's rimmed around the boards. Waiting for it there was number 18. That's Jeff Dinallo. Went on to play some NCAA. Well, they tried to work glove there on Anthony Marshall, who would not bite. So 1-0 Newmarket leading this one.
First chance we've seen for Chris McKinnon. And boy, I mean, if you didn't watch last year on the 3HL tour, you got to watch this guy. He's a human highlight reel. Like I mentioned on our pregame show, back-to-back years, top 10 OHL scorer for the Kitchener Rangers. The dude just knows one thing, and that's putting the puck in the net.
That's the puck. Oh, nice attempt at a body check there by Mr. Morrison.
you know what? This Aurora team establishing some physical presence. Last week, we saw them worried about being more run and gun. Maybe they've recognized it's a smaller ice surface here at Eddie Bush, and they're trying to use their big bodies against maybe a little bit of an undersized Newmarket team.
Brendan Woods off the doorstep. Daniel Wood couldn't tuck it under Jimmy. And that was a great battle between Woods and who was it, Hovanesian. The two of them were at one another as there was a little bit of hooking involved. Not enough to draw the officials.
So close.
How close was that? And then he couldn't tuck it between his feet at the last second.
I don't know what it is with Jimmy Sargent, but boy, he always plays it so close around that line, and we've seen him steal so many goals, just grabbing it right out of his crease.
And you can see him right there, just positioning. He's just inching himself to stay square. And he just, like you said, he just knows his angles. There's a long pass down the ice. Looking for number 21, AJ Peepsack. Sam had a great chat with him in the pregame. That one's off. What a great crowd here at the Eddie Bush Memorial Arena. Downtown Collingwood on a Saturday night. If anybody played for the Collingwood Blues, or if you're around the town back then, you know Saturday night belonged to this arena. First there's the family skate, followed by the Blues game afterward in the evening. A lot of people would skate first and then watch the bigger guys come do it afterwards. That one's tucked down the ice there.
We had some Collingwood Blackhawks here.
Jimmy Sargent with a long pass down ice. And he gets an assist on that goal. And I wish I could tell you who it was that scored, but I don't
Chris McKinnon.
It was McKinnon.
Chris McKinnon with a beauty backhand after the feed from Jimmy Sargent. Make sure you get Jimmy on the assist there, but that is just peak Chris McKinnon. I've seen him do that so much back with the Kitchener Rangers. Use his blistering speed, little fake kick, backhand cheddar. What a beauty from Chris McKinnon.
Yes, indeed. So 2-0 now. And here they are looking for more. McKinnon's in the corner. I apologize, my writing was so sloppy. I didn't think I had a 7, and then I saw it in the ledger. And it looked like a 9 3/4, but that's the way it works. Oh, and nearly too many men. Minute 40 to go here in the first frame. It's 2-0 for Newmarket over Aurora. Aurora is in white. Jimmy Sargent having a few words with the official there at the side of the net. A little stagger move right there. Doesn't get his man to bite, though. This is Adam Davies, ex-Newmarket Hurricane under Brian Perrin, the head coach. Shot coming through, looking for number 3, Hovanesian. Able to find him. Josh Phillips is back in red. That's him with the full cage, but stepping around everybody, but off the pipe again, I believe. That's Tyler Morrison doing the honors there. Here they come the other way. Ooh, that was a good, hard shot off of Kevin Jarman's stick, but the netminder got a piece. Anthony Marshall down to under a minute now, 49 seconds to go. Still 2-0 Newmarket leading Aurora. Newmarket in red. More in the shoulder here. Into the corner they go. They exchange. A couple of bumps, trying to step around his man. Trying to get a pass through or perhaps a shot. Unable to do so. As that was Tyler Morrison. Here comes Newmarket the other way. Glove save there. Anthony Marshall. Back all the way out to center, pedaling with it, and just keeping it from going back over center. Good job there by Clancy. Clancy tried to tuck that one home in the 5-hole. Now he's got it side of the net, and he just put it off the pads of Marshall. He had more time and space perhaps than he realized.
Time's running out, though. They don't recognize.
There you go. Still a 2-goal lead they take into the intermission. What do you think about Aurora? They've looked good, but Newmarket looks that much more in tune with the 3-on-3 game.
Yes, you could see definitely the experience for this Newmarket Saints certainly is kicking in. Of course, Paul Clancy getting his first goal, but besides that, you know, Jarman was the one who set up that goal with the assist. And then you have Jimmy Sargent, who's been playing unbelievable in his second season on the tour. And, of course, Chris McKinnon. Guy has been lights out. He probably could have 3 goals right now. Great, beautiful goal. Probably the goal of the tournament so far, that backhanded beauty. But let's not forget, you know what? Aurora looking pretty sharp right now.
Two off the pipes,
Two
too,
off
right?
the pipe.
Jimmy Sargent.
Jimmy's made a couple of big saves.
Yeah.
This game easily could be in favor of the Avs right now.
And Jimmy Sargent at center talking as a stick is exploding off the draw there. So here's a chance for Aurora.
Should have been using a win well.
Blocker to the way. Should have been using a win well. Great line there by Alex, our producer. Go backhand pass there. Off. Was that off the pipe again?
I think Jimmy might have got a piece of that one.
Okay, I thought I heard a clank. Jimmy's amazing, but of course, we've got a penalty coming. Here goes Marshall to the bench. Shot high and rising. Extra attackers now on the ice for Aurora. And we have a stoppage of play. It's a holding penalty, so it's going to be a Winwell penalty shot. There it is. We saw the official making the... I've got something on my sleeve. Oh, here we go. PJ Buys. I asked him about this stick. Got any goals in it? He said, are you kidding? I'm shooting at Jimmy Sargent. I sure hope so. Chasers, though, they're underway. Buys. Great burst of speed. Fakes. Oh, he couldn't solve Jimmy Sargent. Glove side. Hard shot. More iron. Man. Here's a great break. Tried to tuck it home through the 5-hole there, right along the ice, spinning and firing. Elliot Berlin, exactly. Alex was just making an announcement in our headset saying the posts have been the savior for a couple of these goaltenders. Jimmy Sargent made the stop. Rebound was there, but briefly, Pat. I was going to say Alex is doing color with me now.
Very good point. Very good point. We've seen a ton of pipes here so far. That just shows how sharp shooting these players really are. I mean, that's where you're trying to pick. You're trying to pick those corners.
Did you see that little body check along the wall? There's money on the line. There's a big chop on the arm there off the
Battle of York. Battle of York's heating up.
Oh, it's in. Just in and over. Unable to keep it out was Patrick Marsh. Number 12. He was right there. Couldn't help out his goaltender. So down to 4 minutes, 55 seconds.
Jarman, second assist of the game. A nice, another saucer pass, and Morgan Borner with his second chance. And you know
Morgan Bonner?
Morgan Bonner, you know him quite well.
I certainly do.
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan, that's what they called him, yes. And he was a real fan favorite at the old boys game that they'd have, the McPherson tournament. They were just crazy. They all had the Captain Morgan, the rum, of course. They had pictures, and they all held them up when he came out on the ice.
That's awesome.
It was tremendous. That old barn, the Aurora Community Center, would nearly needed a new foundation every time. They would rattle it, and they shake the glass, Patty. If you want to see a crazy hockey environment, check out some St. Andrews College Saints games. Here goes Aurora, where St. Andrews is located, of course. They used to share the same barn until that new facility was
gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Gorgeous, yes.
Connor McDavid plays there all the time. The York Simcoe Express also play there.
Yes, beautiful facility there. Morgan Bonner, I mean, you talk about him being a student athlete at SAC, went on, got a scholarship in NCAA as well. So, those programs, and off to the races. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. It's the man who got the big body check delivered on him. Oh, and he says, I'm going to find some twine right there. Elliot Berlin. Getting it done.
Elliot Berlin, the former Newmarket Hurricane, comes on in and skates here, has so much time, but he wastes no time as he makes Anthony Marshall's water bottle pop. And to extend this lead for the Saints.
PJ Buys looking down ice. He says, let's get one to start with, down to 3 minutes, 16 seconds to go. 4-0. The boys in red lead. And they are in possession once again of the puck, coming up the wall now. There's a great pass, a breakaway opportunity once again. Newmarket, Marshall makes a great stop. Wasn't sure where the rebound was. PJ Buys backhands it around the wall. Here they come, left wing side, down to 2 minutes, 53 seconds. In over the blue line, tripped up doing so. Here's a long pass, left wing side. Shot wide of the mark by Chris McKinnon. David Kostic is wearing number 96 for the Aurora organization. And here is Christian Finch. Drake Kajula's old teammate. Long pass. Here's a backhand up the middle. Held on to it. Right back on Jimmy Sargent. It's funny, he used to shoot on Sargent when he was in Stouffville, so this is amazing to see. It's great to see what's happening. The net is empty there. Marshall's on the bench. 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Why not? You go home empty-handed if you don't get some Puck's in the net. And there was a great opportunity, but Sargent shrugged it off, and then they handed it to Newmarket, and they iced the deal right there, right along the ice.
Chris McKinnon, things won't get much easier for him there, but he will take it. Last year, one of the leading scorers, 8 goals, 7 assists for 15 points, led the Saints in scoring, and was in second or third, I believe, in scoring in the entire league.
Marshall going back into his net there, and they had to be careful here as behind everybody was Berlin, who got the 4th goal. So Chris McKinnon with 2 goals on the evening here in Collingwood. He's liking the fresh, crisp mountain air, isn't he?
He certainly is. He had a great tournament last time they were up here, so we'll have to see. Maybe the Saints, they can repeat as champions here at Eddie Bush Memorial Arena.
Well, PJ Buys is going to get himself a penalty shot. They should hand this puck over quickly, although they get one off the arm. 62, Brendan Woods.
Brendan Woods getting his first 3HL goal, the former CIS standout. See here, nice pass from PJ, and beautiful little move that just squeaks through Jimmy Sargent. That other pass coming from Kyle Morrison.
Oh, here's an opportunity now. That's humping off the glass. PJ Buys couldn't take that one, but he's on his horse down ice. He's got a teammate skating into the puck. That's the goal scorer, Woods. Woods, nice filthy pass, shot coming. Second effort on the doorstep, and PJ Buys is denied. And then Jimmy Sargent's going to get a penalty, I think. For chopping Buys.
He is.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
I don't want to be
awesome.
around the office on Monday.
No.
When these two come in. Okay, Sargent for chopping PJ Buys.
That's amazing. PJ Buys both and Jimmy Sargent work for the 3HL.
Yeah.
They also coach together with the York Simcoe Express. But on the ice, it doesn't matter as Jimmy just lays the lumber to one of his best buddies.
Miscue there on the Winwell penalty shot. They tried to jam this one home. That was having a hard time there. Was that Kostic who had the puck? Yeah. Kostic just overskated it. Still they have an empty net. Marshall, trying to sift one home on Jimmy Sargent with 26 seconds now to go here in the second half. Lofted in the air. You see the next team coming, getting ready to take to the ice. They're gathered outside. Oshawa and Simcoe County are up next. It's the hometown team, if you will, Simcoe County, the Clippers. There was a famous, as we got an open net here, the Shipbuilders, as we saw off the top of the show, were a famous team, if you will. So that's neat to see the Clippers in homage to the Shipbuilders. That's going to do it.
Chris McKinnon hat trick there too. So two empty netters. They're just going to run the clock here.
Yeah.
As the Newmarket Saints, their first win of the season, their hometown, or I should say crosstown rivals, the Aurora Avalanche, moved to 0-2 on the year. Tough for an expansion team, but we see these two teams. I mean, the score I really don't think was indicative of how this Aurora Avalanche team played. I think they once again deserved a much better fate.
I agree. I have to agree with you as well. And Marshall was terrific. It's just Newmarket just seemed to be coming like ocean waves, if you will, one after the other. It just seemed like every opportunity somebody in red was coming with some great speed down ice, making Marshall's life difficult.
Yes, he you know what, it was very tough for him. And on the other end, you have Jimmy Sargent, who, you know, completely just shut the door every opportunity. I thought maybe with the exception of Kevin Jarman or Chris McKinnon, you could easily say he was the ship my pants player of the game. And speaking of which, Sam must have read my mind as Jimmy Sargent is alongside Sam McDade. Sam?
Thanks, Pat. That's right. I am alongside Jimmy Sargent with a nice score, 5-1 at the end. Let's talk about this game and the rivalry. You guys take the first one out of the cake here. What was your first game of the 3HL Tour Season 2 like?
Oh, honestly, it was really chippy, like really chippy. I wasn't expecting that. Last year, I didn't get hacked maybe one time, and I got probably hacked more than any time last year. So it was kind of fun, I guess. You know, the Aurora Newmarket battle at Yonge Street. So we'll keep it going maybe to the next 30.
That leads me perfectly into my next question. You know, we've interviewed you and PJ a couple times on here side by side. What was going on there?
Well, I just felt the slash on my back after I made a save, so I turned around and gave him one. We were up big, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to take one. So.
Did you yell traitor while you were doing it?
No, I yelled. I can't say what I said.
Now you're moving into semifinals. So what's the game plan here moving forward? Where are you going in the room and telling the guys?
Honestly, don't change anything. Like I thought we controlled it pretty well. We didn't take unnecessary chances, which help us defend and didn't help generate anything for them. Like, they're a good team, but I thought we did a good job shutting them down.
Jimmy, great game. Thanks for talking with me.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
And guys, like he said, they didn't waste any chances. And on the bench, all you could hear was them yell, full throttle, but I'll throw it back up to you before the Zamboni cuts me off, guys.